Prison overcrowding.
No one can stop us.
The Mexican Mafia.
I'm above the law. How should young people behave when they're in prison? Because a lot of young people get arrested, especially for drugs. And one of the first things I'd say is, when you go in there, lay low, don't be running your mouth, find out who's who, and make alliances with the right people, because you might see these big tattooed dudes come up to you right away and you think they're running the place, but actually running the place might be some little old man shot caller who's earned his stripes, who's done some killings, and he's high up in the gang, and he's telling those younger guys, the torpedoes, what to do. Now, once you establish who's who, and your cellmate is a good person to ask, because he's not going to trip you up and say, look, sit over there or do this or do that, and just to make fun of you getting smashed. Ask your cellmate about the lay of the land, who's who, who's the gang leader, and even if he'll introduce you to the shot caller in your building, and then you'll be on good terms with that person, and he might explain the rules that he wants you to follow. Once you are established, where I was housed in medium security Towers Jail in 2002-2003, we had a youngster come in from the minimum security county jail, which was like a gladiator school, and this youngster, he was quite hyperactive and he was getting in a lot of fights, so they bumped him up to medium security where we were housed. And what Marco did, Marco was the head of the Whites, they just took over the Italians, Little Italy, from the Aryans, and we voted in Marco as our head. Spoken this in my video recently, how is the prison for the Italian Mafia. So Marco had this youngster, Slopester, from Sunny Slope. Basically, you just put him to work. Yeah, he's hyperactive, I'll put him to work. He's going to be doing laundry, he's going to be bleaching. If you've got your girlfriend visiting or your loved ones, he's going to get you some nice stripes, some underwear that doesn't stink, some clean socks, maybe some shoes from a diabetic. You can go out there looking good to your visit. And then Slopester always had his little hustle. Wildman talked about the cheese that used to melt into like orange juice, and Slopester could get like extra cheese, extra peanut butter, extra green bologna, extra bread, whatever it was. And he'd be going around, and he had this function then where he was serving a purpose in the pod. So if you're a young person going in, get the lay of the land, find out who's who, find out if you can get a hustle on, make yourself useful, and that way you'll fit in, you won't stand out, and you've got less chance of getting beat up. Did you come across any youngster stories?
Yeah, when I was in Kingman, there was a young lad come in called Ben. He was as green as grass, he was really fresh, and he was right next to me. At the time, I'd just been promoted from the head of the dorm to the head of the building. I was actually running the building with like 5 different dorms. And he come in, he was very quiet, and he was right next to me. Now, we weren't in cells though, we were in dorms. It was like 60 men dorms. And for 2 days he didn't even say anything to me, to be fair. And I noticed he didn't have a TV. I had a TV. So what I did was, I said, do you want to watch some TV, mate? And like, he's like, oh, do you mind? He's really, really green. And like, he hadn't been going to chow either. So I cooked some food and I got talking to him. And this poor bastard, he got caught with a fucking, he'd been out with his girlfriend and they'd had a good night, and he got caught with a fucking roach. A roach. A fucking joint roach. And he ended up getting, because he'd been caught once before, he ended up getting 3.5 years for it.
For weed, that sucks.
And it's like fucking, for weed. It's, no one dies from weed. I've given it up personally, but it's like only because that's my choice. I didn't give up because I thought it was bad. I didn't give it up because you never see anyone who fucking gets stoned and says, oh, I'm going to go and rob a house. That's fucking thieving smackheads and stuff like that. It's like, you know, weed doesn't cause any problems whatsoever. And like, if anyone wants to argue with that, I'll debate that with them all day long. Weed's good. Weed's very good. It calms you down. It solves a lot of things. And it's like, you know, I give it up myself, but I wouldn't say I'd give it forever. Maybe one day I want to smoke it again, and I will, and I'll enjoy it. But for now, I don't need it in my life. But anyway, so this Ben, I got talking. What I did was, when you got your TVs, your TVs in prison, they're clear. It's obviously so you can't stash anything in there. You know what I mean? You got a lot of places you can stash stuff in prison. I mean, for instance, if you got like a wrap of crystal meth, and you're thinking where the hell's the best place to put it, your best place to put it is have 3 or 4 toilet rolls in your locker, and what you do is you take your toilet roll and I'll show you. I've got one here. You take your toilet roll like that. You get this bit. You go like that. You put your wrap of weed, speed, in there, and you close it back up again. And then say you've got 4 toilet rolls. You put that one there, one there, one there, one there. Now even when the guards come and search, they are not going to come and go looking in your fucking toilet roll. 9 times out of 10 they just pick it up, toss it on your bed, pick it up, toss it on your bed, pick it up and toss it on your bed. That's it. But that's another story. But that's a good hiding place. But anyway, so your metal bunks there, you got a metal table there, you got a metal table there, your next person's here, your locker's here. So in between me and the white guy, Ben, I put my TV on so we could both see it. Now he couldn't hear it unless when I went to sleep and he was still up. He stressed a lot, he stayed up a lot, and like fucking, he was always writing to his girlfriend and stuff. She did, John, in the end. I mean, it's sad, it was obvious. And he couldn't really, he couldn't really spell that much. I had to actually write his letters for him. But I seen him going in the wrong direction. And what I mean by that is, some of the lads were coming round and they seen he was quiet and they were knucklehead youngsters and they were fucking trying to get him to fucking go around and fucking cause havoc with them. But the youngsters get very bored very fucking quickly, and unless you put a fucking stop to it, they'll cause fucking trouble. Me being the head of the block, I fucking had to put a fucking stop to it. But, I mean, a lot of people just let him get on with it. A lot of people think it's fucking funny. So, but they were trying to get him to go around and just cause mischief. Like, stupid things like, let's go and eat again, come on, let's go and do this, let's go and do this. And it's just like, stupid stuff what kids do, but it's fucking deadly in prison. You're going to get in fucking trouble real fucking quick. I'm talking to him and he's saying, oh, these lads want me to do this. They said that they've seen paperwork. And I said, whoa. I said, listen, I said, now don't listen to me because I'm the fucking head of the building. Listen to me as a friend. Do not go in on anyone without anyone other than them knuckleheads over there telling you to fucking do so. Because you're going to get in a whole world of fucking hurt for no fucking reason. Oh, but they sound. I said, listen, choose your friends very carefully in here. And he started to listen to me and we got talking. I realised that I had to give him something to do because he was getting into mischief. So what I actually did was, I run a poker table. I set him up with the poker table. He knew how to play poker, and you have like ripped cards as chips. So I set him up to run the poker table. I'd sit there and play poker too with him to keep an eye on, make sure he did the books right in that. But like, and it gave him a purpose. Even if it was a couple of hours a day, it gave him a purpose. And he started going and mixing with other youngsters who'd go out and work out and do things. And it's surprising how you can see the change in people if you guide him right. He had a choice. He could have quite easily gone with the fucking knuckleheads and ended up in the fucking hole for smashing someone that they didn't have authorities to smash for. Which, by the way, did happen to these knuckleheads. No one had told them and no one had given permission to smash this fucking guy. They would listen and say, I knew him on the street, he was a fucking rat, let's do him in. Nah, you can't just do someone in because someone says that. You've got to have paperwork. If you haven't got fucking paperwork, it's just hearsay. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, when you hear someone say, hey, he was a rat on the streets, let's do him in, the person saying it is the fucking rat. They're trying to deflect the fucking situation. So with youngsters, be patient with them. Sometimes if you've got to give them a fucking slap if they're getting out of hand, give them a fucking slap. But generally, fucking treat them fucking right. Because them lads will look after you when you're fucking a bit drunk or you're a bit fucking high or whatever. They're watching out for you, you know what I mean? So treat them fucking right.
It's like a minefield. It's like high school mentality with deadly consequences. So when you go in and they know it's your first time, you're a fresh fish, they can play all kinds of tricks on you. So say dude A has got a beef with dude B, rather than dude A go one-to-one with dude B and fight that out in the cell, dude A will tell you, the new guy, the young guy, the fish, hey, dude B just called you a punk ass bitch. You need to go and handle your business or else everyone's going to smash you. And then if you're new to the game, you're thinking, shit, I got to fight this guy or else everyone's going to smash me. I better go and fight this guy. But actually, dude A has just got you to completely do all of his dirty work.
And that's a shithouse trick, but it does happen. And if you don't ask, if you don't ask the question and go and do it, A, the guy who you're smashing might fucking do you in. B, you might get a shank in your fucking neck. Or C, you just like, you're getting in someone else's business that you don't need to be in. Unless someone actually calls you it to your fucking face, never listen to them. You've always got shit stirrers in prison, and you've always got people who won't handle their own fucking business, but they're very good at manipulating people, and they will get you to help out. A lot of the youngsters come in, and they always think, this guy Ben he wasn't like that. But a lot of them think they have something to prove, and it can go either way. They can either, you know, be a fucking damn ass fucking young lad and fucking look after himself and know how to handle himself, and like fair play to him, fucking pat on the back, the good torpedo, go and get your white pride. Or B, fucking hell, what happened to such and such? I was in the fucking block. What for? Oh, fucking blah blah blah. Oh, what happened to such and such? Oh, the fucking ambulance, the helicopter took him away. What for? Smashing somebody he wasn't supposed to smash. It can happen that fucking quick. You can get into trouble real fucking quick. When I first got sent down, I was just fucking reckless. Just give me fucking 8 years. I didn't give a flying fuck. And fucking I could have fucking got... I mean, I'm not bigging myself up. I was a fucking loon, you know what I mean? I was just a fucking lunatic, and I made a name. But not everyone has that. Not everyone has that option, and not everyone fucking. I was fortunate enough that I didn't go up against anyone who fucking put a shank in my fucking neck. It only takes one shank in one's neck, and that's it. One's bleeding. So be careful in there. You know what I mean? Best thing to do is don't even fucking go there. To be fair, just fucking. But especially for a fucking roach. In America, if you're going to smoke weed, smoke it in the comfort of your own house. And if you're in a hotel room, I've learnt this from the hard way, always lock the hotel door, because for some reason the police they don't have the authority over here. But in America, if your door's open, even in your house, they have to fucking... I only learnt it. They have the authority just to walk in, don't they?
Wow, yeah. If they can smell weed, they can come in anywhere because it's like probable cause.
Yeah.
The other thing Wildman touched on here is, I mentioned about like the guy who says that guy called you a punk ass bitch, but there's a lot of manipulation going on. People try and take their enemies down by putting a jacket on them. So, say some dude in the tower next to your tower has got someone in your tower that he doesn't like. He might start spreading the word at religious services, for example, that his enemy is a snitch or his enemy is a chomo. That's called putting a snitch jacket on the person or putting a chomo jacket on the person. Now, in the hierarchy of prison, snitches and chomos are the lowest of the low. KOS, kill on sight. They're at least going to get a good smash and get their teeth knocked out. So when people are manipulating people, they're going to want to try and make their enemies sound like these low-level people on the hierarchy, the snitches and the chomos.
Because there's no comeback. Because once they go in and twat him, twat means do him in. Once they go in and fucking beat them up, the guy gets carted off, and then douches up, fucking goes to protective custody. Therefore, he can't turn around and say, hang on a minute, no, I'm not, and here's the paperwork to prove I'm not. The other guy in the other pod is laughing because he's just got his enemy sorted out and there's no repercussions coming back on him because there's no one to say that he was lying.
But like Wildman said, the people often accusing the others of these things are the ones doing the things in the first place, and they're just trying to say it to deflect attention from themselves.
They're always the ones to hide. The first one who says he's a grass, you say, show me your paperwork.
So the statement is, show me your paperwork. If someone snitched, there's going to be court paperwork showing that person what they've said against the other person. So there's going to be a person they've snitched against. So not only should they get the paperwork, there's also going to be a witness against that person being snitched. You can say that person snitched against me. So if you can't have any paperwork or a person who's saying this person snitched against me, this is all completely fabricated to get you to attack that person for that person, which is just going to get you in trouble at the end of the day.
Now, if you think about it, like we're sat here now, and you think, "Oh well, I just wouldn't get involved, me." But it's all right. Me and Shaun sat on the couch now, free, talking about it. But it's a different scene in prison. The youngsters, especially the youngsters, they want to make a name for themselves. Some of them want to come in and get ink. Some of them have done a bit of uni. The ones that have been to the fucking gladiator camps are just fucking off the fucking rails. You really do have to fucking give them a good fucking beating up. You have to fucking whoop them into fucking shape. And that sounds mean as fuck, but it's true. Because they're used to different rules in life. Prison, they're used to in the fucking juvenile fucking place. It's just gladiator school. It's just box, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. There ain't no rules, there ain't no fucking respect, there ain't no nothing. There ain't no old people to steer them right, because fucking the eldest there is fucking 17 or 18. And he's the one running fucking shit. So it's a different thing. And when they move up to a different crime and they go to a real prison, a proper man's prison, they're in a whole world of hate, because they're just thinking, oh, this is how I act. It's not the way you act.
You've got to be humble. And Wildman said about us sitting here on the sofa, but when you're in the mix and this testosterone charged environment where, you know, people's heads are getting smashed against toilets and stuff like that, and there's the drugs, the drama and the violence all around you 24/7, it's just so easy to get caught up in that. Most violence in prison revolves around drugs. So if you're a young person going in and you want to avoid violence, stay away from drugs and drug debts is my advice, because drug debts, serious shit, that racks up fast and you're going to get your head caved in at the end of the day if you can't pay your drug debt. Gambling debts as well, and there's other ways to get in debt, even food, stores, stuff like that. Be very careful about who you owe money to in prison.
A lot of people do the stores, but be careful again. Make sure your money's hitting your books. Say if you get 2 packs of top tobacco, it's generally 2 for 3. If you're just getting 1, it's 2 for 1. So you're best getting 2 for 3 is a better deal for you. But if your money hasn't hit your books, that 2 for 3 has just gone from fucking 3 to 6. And before you know it, you could be owning 10 fucking packs just for, like, your money hasn't come in or something. And once it gets to, they're not going to smash you over a pouch of tobacco. But once the money comes in, doesn't come in, and what you're best doing is in a situation like that, you're best going to the guy and explaining your situation. The worst thing you do is avoid him. A lot of people, when I run a store, they didn't pay something. I wouldn't even bother for the first week. I wouldn't even fucking mention it. For the second week, if they didn't come and see me, I'd go and visit them and like ask them. Third week, they'd get a fucking smack. But in general, it's the worst thing you do is avoid it. things do happen. I was having money sent once a month by my brothers, and like sometimes it wouldn't hit, or sometimes the postcode would be wrong, or something. You know, shit happens. But always explain. A lot of people who listen, they're not fucking ruthless. They're not there to make money from you. What they're doing is just making their own bit of food. When you run a store, you're not trying to fucking be the Mr. Big. Drug debts is a different thing entirely. Drug debts, you can get smashed real quick, and it only takes not what it is. I mean, with a store debt, unless you're fucking getting $50, $60 worth of fucking store a week on tick, you're not really going to get fucking smashed. It only takes one little fucking... What you could get for 20 quid on the streets is a fucking £100 in prison. And it's like fucking... You can get in debt real fucking quick. You find a lot of midnight flights with people like that. And you'll find a pattern where, say like they get the odd rap, and then maybe 1 week they'll get 3 or 4 in 1 week, and you think, oh, hang on. And then next minute, it's midnight, fucking, they're doing count, and they fucking do so. They fucking tell the guard, I've got to go, I'm going to get smashed. And on the way out, they'll rat. And then while they're in the hole, they'll fucking tell on the guy. And he can get a street charge then, because they can, if they can prove that money's coming from the street, from the person who ratted on him, it's a street charge. It's I forgot what it's called. There's a name for it anyway, but it is a street charge. Not embezzlement, it's something like that. But basically, it's money coming from the streets to your books for illegal activities, and you don't just get a report for it. That's a street charge. You get an extra couple of years for it. Just stay away from drugs in prison, really. You know what I mean? Really stay away from drugs in prison. I mean, you fucking don't do any favours. 9 times out of 10 they got you there in the first fucking place. Once you're in there, don't bother.
Yeah.
Have some hooch, drink some hooch.
And if you've got, when you're coming in as well, if you're a young person, you've got to be aware of the nature of your crimes and who you talk to about it. So, most people these days, it's drugs that's got everybody in prison. That's completely acceptable. If you're on remand, if you're unsentenced, it's okay to show your paperwork to the gang leader, because he's going to want to see you're not a chomo, or you're not a rapist, you're not a Bill Cosby. He's got to do that. That is the gang law, the convict code. He has to do that. He has to know what your charges are.
You're not going to get hit with a chicken patty.
But if you start running your mouth, saying you were the biggest bank robber since God knows who, and you were running around Vegas with thousands of dollars and multiple striptease dancers in your hotel room,
you're going to get your wig split.
You're going to get your wig split for having a big ego and for just showing off, and they're going to extort you because now they're going to think you got a load of money as well. So for me, because my ego was as big as the Grand Canyon when I was running around doing the drug scene, it was a very humbling experience. I had to go in, keep my mouth shut, not brag about anything, because if I'd opened my mouth, those guys, raw survival of the fittest, you know, I would have been annihilated. And again, this ties into what I said earlier about just laying low, staying humble and figuring out who's who. But you've also got to measure your words and be careful what you say about your own charges. If you say the wrong thing to somebody, say you start running your mouth about a crime you've not even been indicted for, that guy might think, hey, I'm unsentenced right now, I'm facing so many years, I could snitch this guy out for telling me he's done this crime and get my sentence reduced. You hear about this happening all the time. Even cellmates will suck up to you and say, yeah, I'm going to protect you, I'm going to introduce you to gang leader, I'm going to show you where to sit, I'm your best buddy, I've got your back. Tell me about that crime you was involved in. Some dude got murdered? Yeah, or some guy got kidnapped? Somebody got raped?
They're straight in the governor's office talking. They make a deal, and they will drop his charges or they'll reduce them. And you just fucking admitted it. It's like fucking, he'll stand up in fucking court. Your cellmate has just got you fucking banged up.
Yeah.
So be careful what you fucking say. And also, if it's gang related, you're gonna have to come up with a strict no. It doesn't really happen with the white people, to be fair, but with Chicanos especially, it's drive-bys. There's they've got a green light on it, haven't they?
Yeah, if you do a drive-by and you've hit a woman or a kid, you're gonna get a beat down when you're going in. The shot callers don't like that in the big house.
You've got that coming. I mean, it's just one of them. A lot of people do it, and a lot of people get caught up in it. But stray bullets and there's so many things. If you go in prison, make sure it's just for fucking drugs or fucking enforcing or fucking something normal. You know what I mean? There's so many charges. You're gonna get beat up if you fucking killed a woman. You're gonna get beat up if you've hurt a baby. You're gonna get beat up if you're fucking a chomo. You're gonna get beat up if you're fucking a rat. There's so many things you're gonna get beat up over versus so many things you're not gonna get beat up over. It's just, if you're gonna be a fucking knucklehead, stick to fucking knocking people out and do drugs.
So if you've got any more questions about being a young person in prison, put them in the comments section. We appreciate all your feedback and all your love. Cheers from Widnes.
Yes, stay out of trouble too. Don't even go prison. It's for mugs.
That's the best way to not have problems.